Welcome to the first daily live stream Monday through Friday here with BitLab Academy. We will be doing this every day of the week, sometimes on the weekends, sometimes on off hours. And at some point in the near future, we'll also be adding a second stream so we can get all the data to you as much as possible from beginner to pro. We want to make sure everybody understands everything that's going on with the crypto space. And I know myself, when I started years ago, how difficult it was to even understand what was being talked about on a lot of these streams, really understand exactly, what was going on in the language and the verbiage and the indicators, what was going on the charts. All these things can be so foreign to somebody jumping into this space. And everybody that's here, especially those that are here right now for this first stream, you are the OGs. You will be the ones that make it. And those, we need to invite everybody that comes into this space. We need to welcome them with open arms. And we want to make sure that we provide the best data, the most understandable data, so that everybody can succeed in this space. My name is Kellam, and I just want to say thank you so much to everybody that's here with us. We really, really love your support. Please, if you haven't yet, go down below, click the subscribe button, hit that like button at least 3 times because we really appreciate it. It really helps drive the engagement. And as I said, this is going to be happening Monday through Friday, 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can obviously always tune into the replay of this, the recording of this later, but we love having you all engaged here on stream, in chat, so that we can really meet you where you're at. And now I really want to encourage everybody that's here in this space, especially all of you first early adopters to this BitLab YouTube channel. We really want to encourage to start from the ground up with encouragement, with open arms, and with a positive attitude. No matter what people come in and say, if they're being difficult, if they're being trolls, whatever it is, rather than meet them on that level, meet them on a more positive, welcoming, encouraging level. Okay, anybody that is blatantly disregarding that sort of mandate here, we will give a warning or unfortunately censor out of that. But we want to encourage a new wave in crypto, a new wave in this community. We want to make sure that we can invite people in, like I said, where they're at, and really make sure that we can provide a framework and a community that people can grow and learn together. So as I said, my name's Kellam. And I want to make sure that not only, like I said, you've subscribed to this channel, you've hit the like button, but also that you go through and make sure, I'm going to go through and share a bunch of the other stuff that we have. There's all the socials down in the description area. Follow the Instagram, follow the BitLab YouTube, Twitter, follow my Twitter. And we're going to go through all those here in a second. And we're going to break down a couple, basically the outline of what it is, what our mission is here, and what it is we're going to be doing moving forward every day. So I'm not going to go in super depth on a specific teaching or lesson in today's video. As I said, we're going to more broadly cover the strokes and the sort of framework of what it is we're going to be diving into over time. Of course, for many of you, you might already be members at BitLab Academy, where we have essentially in-depth training from beginner to pro, everything from basic descriptions of words and a crypto wiki, which we're actually still building out. But we also have huge updates that are coming to BitLab with over 25 new courses, over 200 new lessons. We have instructors from Brian Armstrong knows BitBoy. We had TJ Shed, with the Hit Network, who's also the co-host of BitBoy Crypto. Frankie Candles, myself, Kellam. We got AJ Pleasanton. We have a number of different instructors that are all bringing information, knowledge, and experience to the new BitLab Academy, and all that's going to be rolling out very soon. But we want to make sure that BitLab Academy isn't just about making money. It's not just about driving profits for our business. Absolutely not. That's not even the main goal. Our main goal with BitLab Academy is to bring you manageable understanding and strategies so that you can go from knowing nothing to becoming a pro. And if you're already along your journey, any step of the way within your own sort of crypto knowledge or economic knowledge or investing or trading, wherever you're at in your journey, our goal is to meet everybody where you're at and help sharpen your sword. Maybe you don't even have a sword yet. Well, we're going to help you build that sword. And if you already do have a sword, we're going to help you sharpen that sword so that you have the skills and the strategies to succeed. So let's go ahead and dive on into the charts a little bit. And I just want to shout out really quick to BitBoy Crypto and to Hit Network for bringing me on and entrusting me with this monumental task of rebuilding BitLab Academy, and as well as hosting this channel here with the BitLab Academy YouTube. So big shout out to them. Big shout out to the entire team that's helped bring this stream together. And because it's never just about pressing go live and getting on camera, but it is all about making sure that everything is tied together. It's manageable. It's understandable. We have these incredible graphics. Stephen with their graphics department helped pull these together, and all the scenes. And there's so much that goes into these crypto influencer channels. And I just want to shout out not only our team, but every team out there that's helping bring knowledge to the masses. Because whether or not you're watching BitLab Academy, BitBoy Crypto, Frankie Candles, Hit Network, or you're watching none of those and you're watching all the other, whatever it is, I'm just happy for you and for this community that people are tuning in, wherever you're learning, that you're sharpening your sword so you can have, I'm gonna take a phrase from my first sort of family in the space, Crypto Jeb, basically has this term called financial sovereignty, and I just think it's so beautiful. I want to shout him out for bringing that to the forefront, because that's what this is all about. It's not about just making money. It's not about mastering your trading strategy. It's not about just getting rich. Are all those things wonderful and nice to do within our journey in crypto? Absolutely. It would be lovely. However, I would posit, I would suggest that what the real goal with all this, if you really back it up and ask, why is it that we want these things? Why is it that we want money? Why is it that we want success in trading? Why is it that we misguidedly want to be rich? I suggest that the truth behind it all is, if you take it back to the roots, what we're really looking for is capital and freedom so that we can take care of our family, we can take care of our bills, we can take care of fueling and funding our passions, so we can fund our art, so we can fund our travel, so we can not be a slave to the jobs that we have, so that we have control and we have access to living our life, not just doing what our boss says and making sure we show up and punch the clock. So that's where I think this crypto revolution with blockchain, Web3, Bitcoin, altcoins, wherever you're at in the journey and whatever interests you within any of these contexts within the crypto ecosystem, that I'm glad you're here, and I'm glad that we can take you through every step of this and really engage with your journey and help supply you with the tools that you need to move forward along this journey. So without any further ado, thank you. Again, my name is Kellam. Welcome to BitLab Academy daily live stream. We're going to be doing this every day at 10:30. So let's go ahead and dive into some of these things that we're going to be looking at. So here we are. I want to make sure, because there's so many, and even though Elon Musk has taken over Twitter, he's proven, as much as he said he was going to weed out all the bots and stuff, there's still so much pervasive scam accounts and fake accounts and imposter accounts online. So I want to make sure from the get-go that you are following all of the correct channels. So first step is, you want to go over here to Twitter and go to @Academy BitLab to follow the specific and official BitLab account on Twitter. That is right here @Academy BitLab. Now, I also want to make sure you follow my Twitter account, because I share slightly different things on each of these accounts. This will be more BitLab specific, as well as different training materials, strategy, sort of sources, different places, tools that you can use, updates that are happening within BitLab Academy. And then on mine, I sort of go a little more on my own personality, a lot more strategies as well, different people to follow. And you can find me @KellyKellam. That's KELLYKELLAM. And of course, I also have my own podcast that I do every Thursday that is hosted through Twitter Spaces, and then we release through Pennyfly Entertainment. And I think Crypto Vet's here in the chat. He's my co-host, my partner in that, and we share so much great information there. We have essentially some of the best minds in crypto, from the Real Plan C, Rational Root, Mark Yusko, Tech Dev, Crypto Burp, so many people, Ben Armstrong, so many people on there. We do that, I would say every Thursday, but it's as many Thursdays as possible. We try to do that. So definitely go and check that out, and tune in for that. We got a lot of information there. Now, I also want to make sure that you go to BitLab Academy.com, and you'll notice that there is a pop-up that comes up on the front page right here. And make sure to sign up for this pop-up right here, whether or not you're watching this live or if you're watching this in the future. Currently, we have basically a giveaway that we're doing. When you sign up on this, this is essentially the BitLab Insiders newsletter. When you sign up for this, we're going to be having for this giveaway, we're going to be doing 5 lifetime memberships that are going to be announced in about 2 weeks, a week and a half or so, around the week of January 23rd. In the future, there will be more giveaways. So either way, sign up for this, because essentially what you'll be getting is a weekly newsletter that has different updates coming to BitLab Academy. So you get early access. We have different sort of training and materials that we put out, different signals with what's going on with the BitLab indicators, as well as other signals and TA setups that we're seeing. So, and this is a free newsletter, so it costs you nothing and gains you everything. So definitely make sure to sign up for that. And you'll see right here, we still have this current website, and we are working tirelessly. So I want to shout out our web designer, David, and our back-end team, Ray and Craig, who have done so much over the last year, especially Ray and Craig over this last year, really keeping BitLab Academy Discord together, really keeping that moving along. There's so much great content in the Discord that you get. We have free access to that Discord as well, with sort of limited but valuable stuff in there, with community engagement stuff. But then for BitLab members, there's so much that's in there, from trade signals to VIP groups to just community engaging, question and answer. Get feedback on the TA and on the charts that you have within your community here at BitLab Academy. So definitely check that. In addition to that, of course, we also have these incredible indicators that we've launched. In addition to, we currently have also the Ray Pulse indicator that is also you can get along with the BitLab membership, as it's additional cost, of course. But we have these other indicators that we've also developed with a really talented engineer that used to be a coder and massive hedge fund trader. I'm talking hundreds of millions of dollars a day, and he was programming all those trades. So we basically reverse engineered some of what he was doing, along with Frankie Candle. Sorry, the dog's excited. The dog's excited for everything going on. Frankie Candles and myself and this engineer, Nick, we really sort of tried to really grasp what it is we look for as traders in terms of signals, aggregate a bunch of that data from RSI, MACD, money flow, divergences, volume. It's so much that goes into these indicators, and you can find these at bitlabacademy.com/indicators. And we had some really special stuff coming to this very soon. I think as early as next week, we're going to be offering some multi-month memberships, which obviously will be discounted if you divide that how much it costs over each month. And along with the Discord that we have as well, we also have a separate area within the Discord just for these indicators that really outline the signals, the training, and all that goes into those. Now, coming back to just my beautiful face here, I just want to say I cannot tell you how much I'm buzzing with excitement for what we're going to be doing here with BitLab Academy, and I want to really encourage community discussion, especially in this chat window here on the side. Ask questions. I may not specifically answer them on the stream. I will try to engage with as many of them as possible, but I want you to put in the, any stream that you come on, whether it's today or any stream in the future, really engage with the chat, ask questions, put in there, different sticking points that you're having. You could even put hashtag sticking point and put what it is. And we have a team of moderators that are always in this chat. that will always be in this chat. And we'll also be going back over these, we'll actually be going back over these and really making sure we're taking note of what those sticking points are with the community. Because this goal, like I said, isn't for me to talk at you. Right now, that's what I'm doing because I'm just trying to get out all this information. But these streams are about engagement, and whether or not, as I said, if you put in a sticking point or a question, if I haven't answered it specifically on that stream, maybe it was not in line with what that day's lesson was about or that day's topic. But we are taking note, and we will make it our mission to get these things answered. In addition to all this, one of the things that we're doing that I'm really excited about, and this will be a free feature within BitLab Academy for whether or not you are a paying member or not. We are, and Morel, you can see here in chat, who's a compatriot of mine, a colleague and a friend there at Hit Network and BitBoy. He and I, as well as a team of quite a few other people that are actually here in chat as well, who have been along with me on my journey from when I was at Crypto Jab to building other things to my Twitter Spaces, Crypto Answered, that I was telling you about on Thursdays, or even here at BitBoy. We've got a community of people, basically minds that we're working with, a volunteer group that we're making sure that we're really hitting the different questions and sticking points that different people had early on, because what my sticking points may have been a breeze for you. And there might be sticking points that you have that I didn't even acknowledge or wouldn't have even acknowledged. So I'm really trying to make this not about me and not about the BitSquad or BitBoy Crypto or Hit Network. This entire stream, this entire community, the entire BitLab ecosystem is specifically, it's about you. It's about the other people in this chat. It's about everybody in the crypto space, taking them on their journey so they don't feel, so they don't get turned away initially because they feel lost or like, well, this is, like I said at the beginning of the stream, this is a whole new language. We don't want that. We want the community, and we want to make sure we're addressing different levels of, from beginner, intermediate to advanced. But also, even if we're talking about an advanced lesson strategy or trading strategy, investing, whatever it is, we want to make sure that we're always throwing that lifeline back to the beginner. And when we're talking on a beginner's level, to be frank, we want to make sure that, because I know I work this way. When I open a book or a magazine, I'm an idiot because I'm arrogant. I always start at the back of the book and realize, well, I don't understand this. And I progressively have to go all the way back to the beginning rather than saving myself time and just starting at the beginning with humility. So I know myself, I started trying very advanced strategies very early on because I grasped one or two aspects of it and then jumped in. And for instance, I've told this story a number of times online, but I'll tell it here. When I first started, I started 2016, 2017, and I, jumped in, and I was in the middle of the start of the parabola, that huge bull market that really was the first bull market that really started to gain world recognition until the market crashed, and then everybody said Bitcoin was dead. And that was among the first time that we started learning that the Bitcoin was dead analogy is just ignorance from mainstream media that's also fueled by big banks and big government that are threatened by the necessity and the power of blockchain and crypto. So when I jumped in 2016, 2017, when we had this massive bull push upward, it didn't really matter what you did. If you're trading on spot, you almost couldn't lose. So I was trading on spot, and I was, very basic TA, support and resistances, basic trend lines, all of which we'll be covering on this stream and in BitLab Academy. But I was just looking at these basic strategies, and I was trading, and I traded my way with my DCA strategy. I traded my way from basically having zero savings whatsoever, or zero money set aside, or zero money from investments, and basically got myself to about $70,000 in my trading portfolio. And that was when the gateway drug hit me without any knowledge of proper risk management, because trading on spot in a parabolic uptrend, like I said, risk management, you don't really consider it because, you buy the dip, sell the rip, right? So what did I do? I got into leverage trading because I thought, well, if I'm watching these other people online making so much money, forgetting that they have the skills, they have the strategy, they have the action plan, they have the risk management in place. I didn't put all those things together. I just thought, well, leverage, if I've stacked up this much money in this amount of time on spot, well, if I leverage trade, I'm going to be a millionaire in 2 weeks. 3 weeks. Well, you know what happened 3 days later? My $70,000 that I had, I think I had about $2,000 left. I lost $68,000 in the matter of, I think maybe 3 trades, because I did, what's known as kamikaze trading. And if I lost, I just doubled down and then 20x, 30x trade on my entire portfolio. And my whole point with all this is, the goal here is to prevent anybody at any stage in their crypto journey from making those mistakes that people like me that have been in the game for quite a while, Crypto Vet, who's also here in chat, Frankie Candles, Ben Armstrong, TJ over at Hit Network. And I'm also going to be having, I'm going to try for once a week, having a guest expert come on and do interview and touch on different points with whatever niche they're specialized in, whether it's TA or on-chain or whatever it is. So we can also get different viewpoints and different ways of explaining things and different huge errors that different people have made, because we want to prevent all of you from making those errors that we made early on, so that you can supercharge your journey and get your action plan, your strategies, and your process set so that you can engage with any sort of phase of the market, whether it's a bull market, whether it's a sideways distribution or sideways accumulation, wherever it is. And I'll even point that out a bit more here on a graph that I made many months ago, and that's this right here. And I want you all to really take note of this, look at this, analyze it. This is very similar to thinking about, where we're at in the market. When we think of market cycle cheat sheet, when we think of this right here, this is a very basic way to think of, every market cycle, right? But this doesn't really this gives us an outline of sort of where different things in the market cycle are. But what I really want us to take note of is this: what are the actionable steps for each stage of the market cycle? Whether we're in distribution, which is this point right here, when the market is topping out and we're getting less higher highs, we're seeing bearish divergences, which are signaling around this point in the market that we're going to fall. And we can even see that if we look specifically at the chart. Let's go to a 3-day here, zoom back, and we can look right here. I'm actually going to, so we can look right here, and we can see, and this is using the BitLab indicators, but we can see right here, this stage right here, seeing these bearish divergences. And look at this. Look how this high and this high, look how much higher this is. And you see how this is this is not as long as this, showing that momentum is losing. It's losing steam. And then right here, even smaller. So just on momentum alone, we could see that this market cycle was starting to shift gears. Okay. In addition to that, then we're seeing bearish divergences. Excuse me. The point of all this is there's action steps that we can take for every stage in a market cycle. There's action steps that we can take to have risk management. Now, sometimes you might think we're right here and we're only right here, but what happens? What happens if you think we're right here and we're right here? Well, let's look at that on the chart. If you thought we were right here and we're only right here, and you sell out right here. I know a lot of people that sold out here and then right here, they're like, man, I shouldn't have sold out. And they buy back in and then they lose everything. Well, having your strategy in place, understanding how to engage with this market, how to engage with different phases of the market cycle, and sticking to your plan, that is the goal here, because it means consistent profits over time. And we're going to be breaking those down in everything from, as I said, we're going to have a day that we're doing on-chain. We're going to have days that we're doing macro. We're going to have days where we're going to do just different unique sort of strategies, whether it's identifying supports and resistances, identifying and understanding what divergences are. We're going to break all that down because, as I said right here, this was losing steam, but you feel like you missed out, but you had a strategy. But those that did sell out right here, and then also acknowledged here that this was losing steam and having bearish divergences, showing a shift in gears. Well, then now this stage right here would be, this is $42,000. So had they sold here, missed out on these gains, quote unquote, but then stuck to their strategy, well, then where we're at, even down, way down right here, let's look at this. I'm gonna cover up all this stuff right here. Now we're gonna look at this this measurement tool coming down to where we're at right here. That's a 58%, down 58% from here. So you would have had a massive increase in your holdings had you sold here, even though you feel like you missed out on these gains. So that is the whole point of this stream. The whole point of this stream, and then even with even deeper knowledge within BitLab Academy, where we're going to everything in specific, broken down 5 to 10 minute videos on specific topics, and then the trading strategies that tie all those things together. We're going to be doing that here on a daily basis. Now, some of the other things that we're going to be going over is tools. We're going to be going over all the different tools that we have that we utilize from looking at long to short ratios, looking at liquidation points, looking at everything. We can even go through some of these right here. Let's go ahead and just scroll through some of the different tools that we're going to be going through. Things like CoinGlass, which this is a free tool. You can come in here and look at open interest, which shows how many open contracts are in the market, which is a great gauge to gauge what's going on with the market. If there's a building sort of technical trader sentiment in the market, if there's traders with higher open interest, when there's increasing open interest while price is going down, that's a divergence, right? We can look at all these things. We can look at liquidation levels here. We can see, coming here to, let's go to the 12 hour, and we can see there's, a lot of liquidations coming back and forth, so we can understand why certain moves are happening within the market, okay? All these data points are just, think of yourself like a hunter. You could be out there hunting barehandedly, and you better be really good with your hands. But it's going to be a smaller likelihood that you're going to catch that bison, right? But if you have a bow with one arrow, then still not likely, but more likely than if you're just barehanded. Now, if you have a bow and arrow with 100 arrows, a lot more likely. Now, if you have a bow and arrow with 100 arrows and a spear, see, that's essentially what we're trying to do here. We're trying to build your tool set of knowledge and then actual use case tools, resources, and understanding them so that you can engage with this market effectively. And other things are, because there are things like Glassnode and Sentiment and CryptoQuant and all these different tools that are paid services, and they are phenomenal. But especially for beginners, are you going to be dropping, hundreds of dollars a month on all these different tools? Well, start with the basics. You can use stuff like this. Look into Bitcoin.com. You come up here, you go over here to charts, and you have a lot of the basic on-chain metrics, whether it be MVRV, which is a great on-chain data chart, which is basically the market value to realized value. And don't worry, we are going to be going over all of this in detail within BitLab Academy here on the YouTube, and even more detail and use cases and how to tie this into strategy within BitLab Academy. And you can even, if you want just the most basic level of understanding, you can come to these charts and scroll down and look at this. They give you a basic overview of exactly what it is and how it can be used. The point to any effective education, anybody that makes it in the long run, is people that seek out others that have knowledge and seek out a variety of different viewpoints on that knowledge so that that person, whoever they are, I hope it's you, can really build that tool set and understand it from not one singular viewpoint, but to understand it from a variety of different viewpoints so that you can draw metaphors in your head, so that you can draw analogies, so that then you can look at tools that you have never seen. And this is when you understand it. When you look at tools that you have never seen and you can immediately dissect it, understand, basically draw conclusions from data points, right? That's the point to really having an understanding and gaining knowledge, especially in this field, is to have those variety of viewpoints, the variety of different tool sets, and variety of different learning from a variety of different ways of understanding it. So I hope that you subscribe to this channel. I hope that you tune in. I hope that you, not only this channel, even if you only watch once, that you subscribe to a number of different resources. And I don't just mean here on YouTube. I mean from reading, books like the Bitcoin Standard, to reading Ben Armstrong's book, Catching Up to Crypto, which is coming out right now, if it's not already out, depending on when the stream. So definitely the link for that is down in the description. So definitely you want to find that. That's a great bridge for anybody that's just starting out. And I also want to tie this back to what I was saying earlier. No matter where you're at in your journey, and I remember this from, I used to tour as a singer-songwriter, as a, self-taught guitarist. My dad taught me quite a bit, but then I, really, it was never really like formal training. But what I always wish I did is go back to the basics and learn the scales, learn the fingerings, learn the basics of the instrument. And in this case, with crypto and investing in NFTs and Web3, the basics are critical to your understanding, and they're critical to your success. So as I said, no matter where you are in your journey, tune into topics on the daily streams. Maybe it's a topic you're like, well, I already know that. Well, tune in. I might talk about it in a way you've never understood it before. I might touch on a basic description of something that may reformulate the way that you're engaging with that tool set, or with that chart, or with that understanding, or it might just challenge the way you've been doing it. And that's good. That's how we learn. That's how we grow in this space. So with that being said, again, I want to say thank you everybody to being here. Thank you for subscribing down below. Thank you for hitting the like button. The goal here, especially with as early as this cryptocurrency, this blockchain, this whole entire ecosystem is, I don't want to say started by Bitcoin, but really getting kicked off the ground by Bitcoin, taken to that next step with Ethereum, and then having these cycles we're seeing working 4-year cycles, but we're really starting to see the start. We're nowhere near huge adoption. We're only just starting to see the start of adoption. So all of you that are here, you're really a part of helping grow this ecosystem, this revolution that is going to change and permeate every aspect of our lives. NFTs are going to be something, right now there's this argument and a huge amount of ignorance, I think, within the ecosystem of NFTs, because people think that it's about these Bored Apes, or it's about the crypto kitties, or it's about crypto gaming, having skins or NFTs. And while all these things are incredible to spreading the adoption and awareness of NFTs, the truth is, and this is why I think people need to grasp the level of adoption that is coming. NFTs are going to permeate every aspect of our life within the next 10-ish years, from driver's licenses, housing deeds, car titles, anything that medical records, all these things. And so when you think about all these different avenues of everyday living being put onto the blockchain through NFTs, now think about all the rails that goes on: Polygon, Tezos, Cardano, Ethereum, all these different chains. And there's so many more, of course. AVAX, Algorand, I think, is also moving into having that functionality as well. There's so much going on that we have not even scratched the surface to what the wave that is coming. So these waves, and I'll say this on the stream now, everybody says diminishing returns over time. And I agree with that in theory. However, I will say that it is January 11th, 2023 right now. And I still think I won't say the largest wave that we've ever had. I think the largest wave we've had in terms of the explosive growth was that 12,000% growth or whatever. I think it was a 2013 cycle, 2015 cycle. I don't think we'll have that again, but I do think that this wave, this parabolic wave that we had in the 2020 bull market was definitely brought to a close much sooner than it would have been, and it was truncated by something that needed to happen, as sad as it is here to say, with the Celsius, the Three Arrows Capital, Voyager, BlockFi, FTX, all these cascading sort of failures in the space. It is a dream. It is a godsend to us that these happened this early in the crypto ecosystem, because it is helping weed out those bad actors. It's helping show that risk management is an absolute necessity. No matter how early we are in this space, it is critical that we keep in mind, no matter how much explosive growth we may see, we always have to hope for the best and plan for the worst, okay? And the fact that this has happened now is a silver lining, because it is going to bring in a wave of healthier engagement with the space. It's going to bring in healthier processes and hopefully, as much as we never wanted to hear this 2 years ago, but now we know is an absolute necessity, healthy regulation that embodies growth, that embodies and encourages and nurtures this ecosystem, because this is, as I said, something that is going to permeate every aspect of our life. And so this is the digital gold rush of the future that we are currently a part of. And everybody that is a part of it now, strap in, hang on, sharpen your sword, engage, because you are a part of this revolution. You're a part of that thing that people 5 years from now, 20 years from now, absolutely are going to say, they're going to forget about that time that told you, why the hell are you investing in Bitcoin? That's a scam. Why are you investing in Ethereum? They're going to realize that you had that genius. Now, I can relate this also to musicians. A lot of people, if you think about it, they think about, if they have a daughter, they hope, especially, I don't mean like somebody that's like Prince or Harry Styles or, whatever, huge success. Somebody that's just making it. If their daughter brings home, this partner, this potential long-term partner, and it's a guy that's in a band, garage band that's not doing much. The family's like, she's talking about marrying him, is like, well, how is he going to provide, right? You're not going to make it. I can tell you this as a musician myself, that there's this viewpoint on musicians that they're not good providers. However, there's something weird about the second that they sell 1 million albums, then everybody says, hey, I supported you from the beginning, and man, you're so great. There's a genius behind it. Well, what's the genius? That's the difference between the 1 million albums sold and the guy that's in a garage band. The only genius, and this pertains to all of you, the only genius that pertains to all that is the willingness to be hard-headed, to be driven, to be passionate, and to push through all those questionable sort of people that don't understand what you're doing. The genius is in the perseverance. The genius is in the perseverance. The genius is to having a vision, sharpening your sword over time, sticking with it, growing, sharing what it is you're doing with everybody around you, helping spread the word of what your vision is. That's where the genius is, and that's where it lies. And that's what we're trying to do here with BitLab, is helping support all of your visions of success, your visions of financial freedom, your visions of having freedom to spend time with your family and not have to ask permission to take off from work to go to a family member's funeral. How terrible is that? We live in a modern day capitalist slavery sort of society. We are a slave to our paychecks. We're indentured servants to the capitalist motif that we live in. Now, I'm not hating on capitalism, because capitalism allows us to have the edge and the keys to step out of that indentured servitude. But it only happens to those people that go back to what I just said, that have the vision, that have the ability and the strength to persevere. And let's be honest, nobody can persevere without a support system. And that's what we're here for here at BitLab Academy. That's what we're here for with this free content we're going to be putting out every day. And of course, if you want to go deeper, if you want to have every one of these lessons broken down, absolutely make sure you go over to bitlabacademy.com and go to that website and make sure to sign up for that newsletter and get in here and, check into everything over at BitLab Academy and get involved. And again, that's not just BitLab Academy. There's so many other tools as well as this free stream here on YouTube. Come over to the BitLab Academy Twitter page. Everything that we retweet through this is sources that we like. One of the things that I do on my Twitter, for instance, is I go in and I come into, let me come back over here. I come in and you'll see right here on notifications. And now you can see right here, new tweet notifications for, now what I do is everybody, as I'm navigating around Twitter, and if you're not on here, by the way, I've had a Twitter account since 2010. I never used it until August of last year. Okay. Until I got into crypto. I think I had 2 followers and I had like maybe 2 posts. Never used it. But I got into I got into Twitter because I've been in crypto for a long time. And when I decided to pivot out of the pandemic, I owned an audio company here in New York, as well as I toured internationally as a DJ, and I had a number of online businesses. But I stopped all that because of everything that's happening with crypto, blockchain. This is something that I just could not pass on being a part of because I've been in it passively on my, individually for the last, 6 years. And so I say, well, I have something that I want to share. I have the ability to share it. I've done online training academies for other types of things too. So I transferred all that knowledge into crypto. And so I started my crypto Twitter and have just I cannot tell you how much incredible free content is in crypto Twitter. So get on here, people that you like, people that you follow. You can come up to, this is a great one, Blake. You come up here to the top and you add this bell right here, notify, and you can come through. And I even have a list somewhere, and I can share it. But I actually just shared a few weeks ago with my Crypto Answered, and I'll leave this up. No, it's right here. I shared a list of all the different people that I've had as guests on my Crypto Answered, and this is a great list. And I will retweet this onto the BitLab Academy page because it's everybody on there you should follow because they give a variety of different viewpoints, whether it be macro, micro, bullish, bearish. And the point with understanding, it's this list right here. And all of these people are incredible. The Real Plan C, Jesse Olson, The Rational Root, BitBoy Crypto, of course. Scott Melker, the Wolf of Wall Street, Mark Moss, all these people give different sort of lenses into the market and what's going on in the market, the hows, the whats, the wheres, the whys. And it's so nice to understand or at least peek into the market from those different viewpoints, because that's when you glean different tools, different strategies, different indicators, different understandings. That's when you have a thesis and then you go read 4 other people that completely contradict yours and you think, maybe this isn't the best thesis. Excuse me. The point with forming that edge in the market is to expose yourself broadly to as many different viewpoints, as many different things as possible. See what you resonate with. See what it is that you understand. People that break down the knowledge and the tools that you're learning from, that have communities behind them, that some agree with your hypothesis of the market, some that challenge, because you need to have both to succeed. And you want to build that stable of resources from the different websites I shared. And we're going to be breaking down each one of those, as I said, over time here on the channel. Excuse me. I got that tickle of excitement from the crypto market in my throat. But you really want to build all these things and then figure out, especially if you're early, in your journey in crypto and blockchain and trading and investing and all these different things, NFT, all these things. You want to make sure that you engage with all these very broad resources. Figure out where it is that you can, as you learn these topics and you learn these resources and tools, then you start to specialize your strategies and specialize your formulas and specialize your action plans as you do that. And that's going to be our goal here, is to help you figure out new indicators, new tools, new resources, new people, new communities, and then help you really focus on each one of those things and really broaden your knowledge on that. But without any further ado, I do want to say again, thank you so much for being with me here at BitLab Academy. This is going to do it for the stream today. Make sure to follow myself at Kelly Kellam on Twitter, as well as BitLab Academy, which you can see on the socials here on the bottom of the screen, at Academy BitLab. At Academy BitLab also on Instagram. And then the YouTube, of course, is at BitLab Academy. And make sure to check out bitlabacademy.com. But we're going to be doing this every day at 10:30 a.m. before BitBoy show. We're going to be really trying to break down different looks at the market. And I will. My goal is to make it daily relevant, but evergreen content. So it doesn't matter if you watch it today or in 2 weeks. We're going to be using signals of what's happening currently in the current environment in the market, but then breaking down how, why, what, and where on how to engage with the market and how to use those different tools, signals, strategies in the market. So that being said, thank you again, everybody, for being here. Really appreciate it. Make sure to subscribe there on the bottom, right down here. Hit the like button. Share the stream with your friends. I really appreciate the support. I appreciate building this community. And all of you are here at the ground floor. I love you all. I appreciate it. Without any further ado, adios, muchachos. Over and out.